Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by General Francis Béhanzin. He is the former Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security at the Economic Community of West African States, which commonly is referred to as ECOWAS. General Béhanzin, welcome. How is Washington today?
Thank you so much. I would like to speak in English, but it's better for me to speak in French.
You're quite welcome, General Béhanzin. You can respond in whichever way that you're most comfortable with. So, General Béhanzin, I'm going to dive right in. You have a vast experience, and you were attending the event there of the United States Institute of Peace on the Sahel. So let me begin by asking this. As the former Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security at ECOWAS, could you tell us a little bit about what is the Political Affairs, Peace and Security? I think it oversees two directorates. Maybe just tell us a little bit about the background and context of your most previous role.
Vu que vous avez beaucoup d'expérience avec l'ECOWAS et aussi votre participation à l'événement d'hier, pouvez-vous nous dire c'est quoi la spécialité de votre rôle précédent à l'ECOWAS?
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for asking me that question. I'm also the chairman and co-founder of a worldwide network of professionals of security and defense for combating terrorism and prevention of terrorism. Merci beaucoup pour cette question. J'ai été invité par l'Institut américain de la paix, ici à Washington, où je suis depuis 48 heures. Hier, nous avons tenu une grande réunion, une conversation importante au sujet de ce qui se passe en Afrique de l'Ouest et dans le Sahel. La réunion est d'autant plus importante qu'elle se passe dans la capitale politique des États-Unis d'Amérique, qui veut reprendre son rôle au sérieux dans la gestion des questions de sécurité, des questions de la démocratie en Afrique de l'Ouest et dans le Sahel. C'est vrai, j'ai été commissaire aux affaires politiques, paix et sécurité de la CEDEAO de 2018 à 2022, pratiquement 4 ans et demi, au cours desquels j'ai eu le contact des 15 États membres de la CEDEAO sur le plan des affaires politiques, la gestion des élections, la gestion de la démocratie dans les différents États, sur le plan de la paix et sur le plan de la sécurité régionale. Ça n'a pas été facile. J'ai échangé avec les responsables de l'Institut américain pour la paix sur toutes ces questions et visiter la situation un peu confuse actuelle à la suite des coups d'État qui sont survenus en 2020 jusqu'à 2022, où 3 États, sinon 4, sont en difficulté de transition militaire. Les États sur lesquels vous connaissez le Mali, le Burkina Faso, la Guinée, Conakry et puis le Niger. Et il y a quelque temps, justement, 3 de ces pays ont décidé de quitter la CEDEAO, une communauté régionale de 15 États. C'est une situation assez difficile pour toute la communauté, unie par l'histoire, unie par la géographie, unie par l'économie, unie par la culture. Donc, c'est une situation assez préoccupante et les États-Unis se sont dit qu'il faudrait appeler à ses côtés, ici à Washington, pour qu'on puisse apporter nos retours d'expérience sur ces différentes situations dans l'Afrique de l'Ouest, ce que je suis venu faire avec des anciens ministres des Affaires étrangères et des ambassadeurs des États-Unis près ces différents pays et le département d'État chargé, si vous voulez, des affaires étrangères et notamment des affaires de l'Afrique de l'Ouest et du Sahel.
Merci, merci. Kamal, would you translate?
Yes. Thank you for your question. I've been invited by USIP in Washington to talk about what's been happening in the Sahel. And as someone who is a former Minister of Interior and Public Security and National Police Administration also in ECOWAS, he was Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security between 2018 and 2022. During my mandate at ECOWAS, I managed 14 presidential elections, 2 senatorial elections, and 4 sensitive parliamentary elections parliamentary elections in the region. Working on democracy was my main goal, working on democracy and peace and security, but it was not an easy task. We can all say that and agree that things are really tense right now, especially with 3 states that are going coups, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Those 3 countries wanting to leave ECOWAS is very complicated and worrying, given that they were all united for peace and democracy in the Sahel. So it's not an easy task to deal with, but we are working on it, and that's why I was brought here to Washington to give a perspective, given my expertise on the subject matter.
Yes, General, thank you so much for that. And to that event that you were attending at the U.S. Institute of Peace, maybe also share some of your remarks there and your insight. My question to you is this: in your view, what are the key priorities for enhancing regional cooperation and coordination among the ECOWAS member states to address the shared security challenges that can be sort of overcome in a more sustainable, more long-term way for West Africa and the Sahel?
Can you please repeat the last part? What are the key priorities to enhance and...
What are the key priorities for enhancing regional cooperation and coordination among ECOWAS member states to address shared security challenges and to overcome in a more sustained, more long-term way, develop in West Africa and the Sahel countries? Because I think what the people of this region are looking for is a sustained end so that they can live out their aspirations. But many approaches have been taken, and some have not succeeded. Some were initially, as you might appreciate, General, were more kinetic, right? They were not always holistic. So I'm trying to understand, in your view, what might be those key priorities that might enhance.
I will try to respond you in English. Okay? You know, the crisis in Mali began in 2012. And all the international community come to support the Mali in the crisis after the war against Libya. Okay? I cannot tell you how many strategies are being developing in the Sahel, and especially in Mali. There are more than 20 strategies. And as you said, there is no coordination, no political coordination, no strategical coordination, no military operation coordinating. And the things are worsening every day. You know that MINUSMA was there for about 10 years.
Yes.
Without good results. They've done many things. There are about 13,000 soldiers from international countries coming in Mali. They developed many actions for human beings, for health, but no combating the terrorism. And the international community who sent there, as I can say, USA, France, Japan, China, Russia, many countries of West Africa and Africa in general, they don't arrive to stop the terrorism. And from that, the population and the local military forces are completely disappointed. From that disappointed, they focus the governance, the political governance, the social governance, and they attempt a coup d'etat. I was there as a commissioner for political affairs, peace and security when the coup d'etat arrived. I can tell you that in Mali, the man who come to do the coup d'etat was in the special forces. And one day he has been kidnapped by the terrorists. Maybe in God's will, he has been relaxed. And the situation is worsening every day. You know, ECOWAS do many things to gather the effort, to coordinate the effort, to do many things good in the Sahel. But you know, when the military coup arrived, ECOWAS with his resolution tried to convince them to not come here, but to go back quickly. But the military, you know, when they are there, and you know how power is, I don't know, I don't want to say that power is sweet, but they are not going. After them come Burkina Faso. After Mali and Burkina Faso come Guinea-Conakry. After Guinea-Conakry come Niger. It's too much for ECOWAS, for 15 member states. And about the regulation of ECOWAS country, there is some sanction who come to arrest the coup d'etat in our region. Actually, 3 of them say that they are withdraw from ECOWAS regional community. That is what we are facing actually, and the U.S. government, by the Institute of American Institute for Peace, invite us as I don't know person resources to talk about the situation and to see the strategy, as you say, to coordinate a better condition to prevent terrorism, to eradicate terrorism, and to give good health, human security for all the people of Sahel. I don't know if my English gives you satisfaction.
And you did answer my question, General, so I'm going to ask you just 2 more questions and then I'll let you go. Can I press you on that issue which you just mentioned? I'm hearing a lot of optimism. I'm hearing engagement while during your time in Washington. And I did read over the report that was put out by the Sahel group. But here's my question. In this same week, now let's be realistic. The reality that happened just this week. We have the report from the Sahel group. I read the report thoroughly. It is a great report. But just 2 days ago, the government in Guinea, they dissolved the government. I don't know now, is it the low-level government officials who are leading the country right now? I'm not sure what is the situation in Guinea right now. But as I asked your colleague, in past administrations of the United States and in its engagement with this region, many recommendations have been made before. Many experts, knowledgeable people have made recommendations about policy. This is the approach we should have. But it has not worked. Does it not prove that the armed groups, in class Wagner, and that they are resilient against these very recommendations? What confidence do you have that the recommendations now in this report that has come out this week are going to work? General Béhanzin.
Donc, elle disait, dans cette même semaine que le report du Sahel a été publié, et il y a de très bonnes recommandations. Mais comme on a vu dans le passé, il y a eu beaucoup de recommandations similaires. Et 2 jours avant ça, il y a le gouvernement de la Guinée qui a été dissolu. Donc, qu'est-ce qui vous fait penser que les recommandations de cette fois-ci, elles vont marcher? Qu'est-ce qui vous donne autant de confiance pour penser que celle-ci, c'est la bonne?
I believe that the US government take a very good initiative through the Institute, American Institute for Peace, to invite us to talk about the recommendation issue from that crisis group. You know, in a family, we are family in the world, human being family. And in a family, you must have a leader. And I believe many countries, many persons believe that US is the leader of our family. Economically, military, what again? Democratically, but your democracies also sometimes have problems. Democracy is a permanent construction. About the conclusion, the recommendation of the group of American Institute of Peace, we come here to develop what we know on the ground. On the ground, ECOWAS have built a planned action for combating terrorism, because the first causes, the first source of instability in West Africa is the problem of terrorism after the war against Libya. We have to tell truth to ourselves, okay? And we come with that plan of action to pledge for the support for American citizens to help us to arrest the evolution of the terrorism, because it's not only for Sahel. After Sahel, they are coming at the coast, like Benin, me, I'm from Benin, like Togo, like Ghana, like Côte d'Ivoire, like Sierra Leone, like Liberia, and so on. And if we don't arrest the progress of the terrorism, is the world security who is damaged, and we have to be together. I believe that the US citizen, through US government, will take in account the recommendation of the Institute group study, and also the planned action of ECOWAS to combat the terrorists, because we can say that the crisis, the political crisis, the coup d'etat coming here and here, except Guinea, because Guinea, there is no terrorism there. But they say the head of state want to have a third mandate. That is why they come to end. Today, the government of Guinea has been dismissed. What is happening there, I cannot tell you, because me, I'm here in Washington, in America.
I understand. I understand. And so, General, to close, do you have any remarks, things that you think maybe our audiences in Africa, on the continent, should know to increase understanding, maybe things that may not be so well known that you're able to share? Maybe talk a little bit about your own work, what you will be doing next now when you leave. Are you returning to Benin, or where are you returning once you leave Washington in the next day or two?
Quelle est votre prochaine destination après Washington?
You know, I'm leading a network of security and defense professionals for preventing and combating terrorism, whose headquarters is in Abidjan. I'm living in Abidjan, and from Abidjan I can go through the 15 member states to give advice to the member of the government, to the head of state, and so on. From here, I will go back to Abidjan.
Okay.
And I have to go also in Benin to see the social situation, to see the political situation. But I want to tell you, and I want to tell the American citizen that the problem of terrorism is not a problem of only one country. I remember the 11th September 2001 here in America. All the world were concerned. And when you have the phenomena of terrorism, they don't care for anything, anywhere. That is why I believe that we have to be together to combat terrorism anywhere they are coming from.
Yes, General, I do appreciate those remarks, final remarks that you made. As I mentioned to your colleague, here in the Washington, D.C. metro area, there is a research center at the George Mason University. This is the Terrorism, Transnational Crime and Corruption Center TRAC. They compile data on terrorism, and so they have been following the situation in the Sahel, and since 2022, they had listed the top 10 countries, of which Burkina Faso was one, the DRC was one, but Mali was not listed at the time. But those 10 countries had made up 73% of global terrorist incidents in the world. And so today, I do appreciate the work that you've been doing, the last few days that you've been spending, and including yesterday's events at the U.S. Institute of Peace, and the work that you will do now when you leave to go forward. But these are opportunities where terrorism data can be shared and presented, and hopefully will help you find the solutions that you need. But I'm glad we're able to